Okay, so we're here for another interview this morning. I'm Kevin, I'm the Wellington chairman manager. I've got with me I say new recruit, Deonte. You're going to be joining us for 26-27, and you're going to be stepping up for more responsibility as a coach alongside Aaron Kidd, who we spoke to the other day. Thanks for joining me. Looking forward to it, I assume.
Yeah, I think it's a different challenge for me. Obviously, going from playing last year to sideline role this year, but it's definitely something I'm looking forward to, I'd say.
Excellent. So let's talk about last season then. Obviously, you were with us for a while. You work with Rich, so I know that you're very, very close friends with him. He trusts you in the workplace. He trusts you at football and values your opinion. Um, how would you summarise last season, and what do you think we need to do better for the future?
I think the biggest thing I'll take away from last year was attitude, myself included, in the sense that when things ain't going quite the way we want it to go, how we react and pick ourselves up. But I think we had good players. I think you couldn't deny it. If you go man for man, there's not a lot of people I take over the ones we had last year. I think it's just our way we applied ourselves, I'd say. But I think going forward this year, we've got a full pre-season together, got a coaching team in place. We're getting players in slowly. So I think it's just about building that bond between each other where we're a team rather than a bunch of individuals
Yeah, fair comment.
going from there.
Yeah, I mean, not to be arrogant about it. Obviously, the league table don't lie, and not wanting to dig ourselves a massive hole. But I look back at last year and I just think when you, Rich, and a few of the other boys came into the club November, December time, we were in a little bit of a rut that was hard to get out of. We went into that new year with a bit of fresh enthusiasm, but then you've got terrible weather, terrible pitches. You're not training consistently. You've got a very stop-start environment where you think you've got a game on a Saturday, all of a sudden it's postponed. You try and put a training session on instead, but there isn't a venue available. And as you just say, for me, I looked at some of the players that we had last year, and I'm like, why are we not doing better? But I think the one thing that stuck in my mind, which obviously we really want to make sure we improve on massively, it's probably the biggest thing that we need to improve on, is that, as you've just said, collection of individuals rather than being a team. And that is really, really important. There were so many. We played Greenways, didn't we, twice? And I think they'd got a guy, Simon, who I know reasonably well, making his 300th appearance for the club. And yet there was someone else on the pitch making their 400th appearance for the club. And teams like that, they train together week in, week out. They know each other inside out. They're close off the pitch. They know their roles on the pitch. And we're turning up with good players, but good players that have maybe never trained together and only played, a handful of games as a team. It's going to be a challenge, isn't it? And that's something that we need to do better.
100%. But I think, again, pre-season massive for us. I think I look at the league this year now. I don't think we have to respect everyone we play against, of course, but the respect barriers have to be limited. I think we just got to go out there, play the way we know we can play, and just go and get results. And then we get midway through the season, you look at the table and you're in and amongst it, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. There were some teams that were right out there knocking on the door of the playoffs last year that ended up finishing in the bottom half. And then there were other teams like Thamesmead, for example, that were below us, with 10 games to go. And I think their manager got manager of the month towards the end of the season. So, yeah, if we can be in and around it halfway through the season, you've got a fighting chance, haven't you? No. Recruitment's obviously going well, Deontay. We're not going to speak about any players at the moment because we can't formalise anything, and also we want to get them on for interviews, of course. So let's talk about coaching and training. So, what are you going to bring to the table? You personally, what are you going to bring to the table for the season ahead?
think just a level of enthusiasm and wanting to do more, wanting to do better. Again, I think it helps playing last season and seeing what went on. And again, I worked with Rich, so I hear quite a lot of things that happen behind the scenes and in and around the club. So I think this year it's just about building that foundation and giving the players an opportunity to go out there and showcase their abilities. And that comes from us as a coaching team, giving them the tools and all the information and the tactics that we can to help them go and do it.
So obviously you haven't met Aaron yet, but I'm sure you've listened to his interview, and we've got a WhatsApp group that's obviously going off every 5 minutes. So from a personal point of view, just you rather than the club, I assume that you're looking forward as you step into coaching for the first time. You're looking forward to working with someone that's got a lot of experience and can hopefully make you enjoy being around a football club a bit more.
100%. I messaged Aaron privately off the group and I just said, welcome to the club. Obviously, I'm looking forward to working with him. I just let him know that, yeah, it's my first year actually going into coaching. So it'll be nice to learn from someone who's been in and around it and kind of build my own resume as such and see where it takes me.
Good attitude. And obviously, we don't need to go and dip into the club shop this year because you've already dressed, looking the part, look the part,
That's it. Got to look the
perform
part.
well. Yeah. Um, what do you think we can realistically achieve this year? And don't sit. I spoke to a player last pre-season who told me that he'd been speaking with 5 or 6 managers, and every single manager had told him they were going to win the league, and that we actually gave him a more realistic overview of what Wellington was all about, and that he respected that. So let's not sit here and say, we're going to end up playing in the Champions League and all that kind of stuff. Let's be realistic. What do you think a good season for Wellington next year it is, and what are you, apart from just results and league table, what are you hoping the whole Wellington environment is going to be about that makes it enjoyable for me, for you, and all the players that we get on board?
Everyone wants to win the league, don't they? That's what you're in football to do, win things. But for me,
No,
I think
no pressure on me then,
no pressure.
DLA.
But I think the most important thing is building building a team, a group of players and management team that like being around each other. They can all push each other and want more for each other. So if I'm sitting there and someone's giving it to another player, he's giving it to him because he knows he can do better and he wants better for him. So I'll take it a game at a time. Again, we don't know who's recruiting who, how everyone's going to start the league. So take it a game at a time. And then again, you assess the league halfway through, latter ends, and wherever you are. But I think for me, building a good group of players and keeping them together. And if we finish mid-table, but we can keep the team together and go again next year, there's no saying we can't go and win it next year. So I think my thing for me is just making it fun for everyone to be there, wanting to be around the club and to see where it takes us.
Yeah, I think that's a massively underestimated thing that a lot of people don't necessarily realize until it's too late. That of course you want to win. Only one team can win the league. Only one team can finish bottom. But I really enjoyed the second half of last season in all regards, other than results, and looking at the league table on the way home on a Saturday night. And we didn't have, because we didn't have that team spirit and camaraderie from the training ground, it didn't then carry on onto match day. Obviously, we're going to make a lot of effort off the pitch to make sure the environment is better, and the bar and the food and the equipment and training kit and all the things that make players feel good, put a smile on people's faces. And if people buy into that and they're prepared to put the work in, and we can have that togetherness and camaraderie, not only is it worth extra points and it will get you some results, here and there that maybe you wouldn't ordinarily have got, but ultimately you look forward to going to football on a Saturday. And I've had this conversation with Rich, really enjoyed the second half of the year. As I say, apart from results, if we can get results on top of that, make the training ground and the league table look a little bit more positive, yeah, it's going to be a good season for everybody involved. So, um, anything else you want to add before we call it a day and go and watch some TV?
I just don't think people should sleep on us. I think we've got a lot going on behind the scenes that we're all working on. And I think, again, if it can all come together and we can put something in place and get the group together, happy, smiling, they'll do their bit on the pitch.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting to be talking to a couple of players that have been at other clubs in our division, and a couple of people that are maybe thinking about coming back to the club, having been elsewhere.
Yeah,
That we do ultimately get a lot more right than we get wrong. Nowhere's perfect, but say if we can be better than last year in every single regard, results will naturally be better as well. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for joining me, Deontay.
no problem.
Get in shape. I definitely want to see you in boots at the first session. We're going to be putting you through your fitness test.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you soon, man.
All right, cheers, mate.
Take care.
Take care.